Do you ever wonder how that land gets cleared, how those big trees are removed, how the small bushes are removed? We've got an expert to talk to us all about that and some huge machinery. Check it out. Welcome to the Your Little Castle Show. Boy, I tell you, I get to talk to all the interesting people on our planet, where we talk to business owners who do some of the most creative and fun and big time stuff, if you will. We've got a guest here today, Andrew Ward. He's been doing this for 5 years, and he and his dad own a company called Midwest Forestry Mulching and Land Clearing. It's a mouthful for major work that you get to do.
It is a lot.
And some big machinery. With that, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Carroll House Furniture. Because you like nice things in your little castle. Hey, let's see what we did there. And you might have had some of that land cleared or some big bushes taken out and cleared out so you can get done what you want around your home or facility. By our guests here, Andrew and his father. Like I said, we were scrolling. We got all kinds of great. We got your Facebook page here up on wall number 1. Look at that machinery. That's what I wanted people to see, and then a great looking website behind us. So, with that, Andrew, welcome to the Your Little Castle Show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, like I said, how often is it the case? We wonder, how do these things get moved? What are the kind of machinery required? We were talking about some of these are expensive things, but they do heavy work to. This is outside work with heavy lifting, but not manually. You've got the machinery to do this.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about what Midwest Forestry Mulching and Land Clearing really does for people.
Yeah, so for Midwest, what we do is we'll take all the invasive trees, bushes, whatever it is. So you're talking about honeysuckle, the Russian olive, all the stuff that chokes out our good Missouri trees, and we'll cut all that back and open up the woods. What we use is called a forestry mulcher with a skid steer, and basically what it is it's a drum that spins at 5,000 RPM, and it will break up all the trees and debris and stuff and turn it into mulch right on the spot. So one of the beautiful things about us is we don't do any sort of there's no dirt being moved. We don't have to get permits for that. The only permit you'd have to pull is if we were taking out big trees, but the government will actually pay for you to have your honeysuckle removed. So that's one of the great factors about this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's honestly the best economically friendly way to do this, because otherwise you'd have to be hauling off, big logs and hiring dump truck drivers and bigger equipment, where we can come in and have way less of an impact than anyone else.
Okay, yeah, because when people are... Tell me, what are the main reasons people want these particular types of brush or small trees? Why do people need those removed?
So a big one is, you've got hunters, you've got farmers who have crops, you have land development, people looking to build a home and they want a road cut up to where they're going to be. We do a lot of hillside stuff where people can't reach the brush, or lakes, ponds. We do work for neighborhoods and their common grounds, so they want to build trails, a nice new trail system for the kids to walk, run, play, whatever they want to do.
Four-wheeler, all that kind of stuff.
All of it. Yeah, that's our bread and butter.
Yeah, I say there's a tremendous need for what you do, because obviously there's a lot of people. I mean, it used to be you just got out a hacksaw or your hatchet and just started hacking away at these things. But these days, you can knock something out. How long does it take you to clear the average area? Say if you've got like an acre you wanted cleared.
So an acre is about a day's worth of work. It's about 8 hours. So we usually clear between an acre and an acre and a half per machine per day. So it really just depends on the job, but usually, we do 5 to 10 acres, in a week, or maybe we just go and do somebody's 1 acre plot in a day or half a day.
Okay.
So, but that would take somebody a really long time to clear all that out by hand.
Yeah, I can imagine if they were going to try to do this, get the old hatchet out, or even a chainsaw, they'd still be doing.
Yeah, we do.
It would take literally months.
We do like a lot of stuff like anywhere in the entire state. And people will tell us, we've spent days, weeks trying to clear all this stuff out, and we come in one day and we knock out everything that they could hit in a year.
Okay, yeah. So if you're looking to get something prepped, and it's for your own home use, or if you're trying to build a neighborhood, or all kinds of different ways, basic construction, you've got to have land cleared. And what's the tallest tree that you guys actually will handle?
We don't really have a limit on tall. It's mainly on the diameter of the tree.
Okay.
So if we're going to use machines like this, it's about 6 to 8 inches is what we do. And basically, with these machines, we'll go in, clear it out enough where you can get in there with obviously something as big as that, a truck, whatever you want to do, and it'll make it almost like a park like. So like when you go up to Washington State or even California, you see these big beautiful trees with no underbrush. And that's
Okay.
what Missouri originally looked like. We didn't used to have all this honeysuckle and all this stuff that was growing on the trees with vines and all that stuff. We get rid of all of that. And so eventually you'll have a nice, beautiful forest with the trees that'll continue to grow and not choke out.
Okay. So where did all this brush come from that originally wasn't there? You're saying? Is
It's
this
just
been
slowly
brought in?
coming through America. I mean, it's all over the Midwest. It's extremely invasive, and the Missouri Department of like our forestry department, they will actually pay to have all that honeysuckle removed on your property. So if you have whether it's a couple acres or 100 acres of brush and you want to get it cleared, they're going to give you a certain amount of money to get that done because it's killing all of our beautiful trees here in Missouri.
Okay. So a lot of the trees then get choked out, and they can't get the nutrients that they're sharing, or I guess the
Right, because
resources.
it creates kind of a shade layer on the bottom, so the trees aren't able to get all the sunlight that they need, even with the tops of the trees, during the summer. But, at the bottom, it's all choked out. There's nothing, all that honeysuckle's taking all the nutrients, so.
Yeah, well, honeysuckles are fun little they're cute little plants. We used to pull little leaves off, but I didn't realize they can be so invasive and
Oh,
can take
yeah.
over the land around a tree because those trees need all that area underneath them as well. That's where the other trees the other leaves will fall and it deteriorate and it turns into soil and then gives them the nutrients and getting pulled away by other less scrupulous, more scrupulous. How do you say the right word there? But scrupulous plants they're trying to survive too, but they've kind of
Right,
invaded there.
right.
Okay, tell me then, what led you to the success you guys have had here? Obviously, you're doing well. What do you think that's contributed to being successful so far?
I think being just honest work and doing things right on time. So we have a schedule. We show up when you guys tell us you need us, and there's no question about when we're going to be there, or how much work's going to be done. It's always about you tell us what we're going to do. We promise something, and we're going to go through with it. And our reviews reflect that. And a lot of our advertisement is word of mouth. We don't do a ton of Facebook ads or anything like that. We have a ton of people that just know us for who we are and what we do.
Yeah,
And
you've carved out kind of a niche here. I mean, this is
yeah,
kind of a niche service that obviously is very necessary. But tell me about your team a little bit. Who all works for you? Is it you and your dad, or you have some other guys that help you run the machinery? How does that get done?
yeah. So that's it's just me and my dad right now that are full time, and then beyond that, we have a couple part time guys that'll help us do the bigger jobs. Like if we are doing a land development where we're going to go ahead and clear out like a large parcel, we've got guys that'll come out with chainsaws and stuff, and we can pull the big trees out, have them taken out, and have them used for firewood or lumber, whatever we're going to use that for. But we've got about 3, 4 guys total on our team.
Okay. And then tell me about the history here. You've got 5 years doing it. Did your dad do it longer than that? When did this kind of spring up as a business?
It started right after COVID, so we actually had bought a forestry mulcher for our farm and was using it, and we had neighbors that were saying, "Hey, can you come over and help us?"
Right.
And eventually, the whole area was like, "Can you come help us with this and this and this and this?" And then by the time you knew it, we were like all over Defiance.
Okay.
And my dad was like, "Well, this is going really well. We're doing something good, so we might as well keep it up." So
That's where it took off. And yeah, when you're doing things that people need and have a viable service, kind of a unique niche that you found there. But I guess they weren't finding other people. They saw your machinery. Is that kind of what helped you sell it? And they said, "Hey, you've got a nice looking. I don't want to buy a really expensive piece of machinery. You'll come out and take care of that. You've got the and what's the average plot cost? How do you price this stuff?"
So we go by the day. It really depends what you've got going on at your place. So whether it's a little piece in your backyard or it's a couple acres. Like I said, we do about an acre a day, so it's about 2,400 a day per machine.
Okay.
Is what it is, and that, we're all inclusive, so you're not going to pay for, travel costs. You're not going to pay for setup fees or anything like that. Where
Gas.
if you have guys that come out and clear land, they may have a setup fee that's like $4 or $5, and we don't do anything like that. We bring it all in. We're there 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 hours, done deal. Everything's beautiful.
Sounds like you got an efficient process here. It sounds you guys have been on the ball. How long did it take you to kind of develop this platform in the system you're using now?
Not too terribly long. I mean, we knew from the start that that's where a lot of guys mess up is, being productive and showing up when you're supposed to. And it's really hard. You can hire somebody and they may not even come out, may not return a phone call. If you call us, we return your phone call text as fast as we can. It's usually within a few minutes. And we always make sure that, everything's to your liking. We don't take any sort of payment prior to the job. Everything's paid for upon completion. Okay. So if you don't like it, don't pay us. That's okay. We would rather you be happy than get paid.
Good quality work and making sure the job is done right. That's what we're talking about. What about this fuels your passion? What is it that helps you wake up every day to do what you're doing here?
I love heavy equipment, honestly.
Okay.
I love running it. It's a lot of fun. There's nothing better than taking a big overgrown parcel and just turning it into an entire transformation where somebody can use it, or 20 years ago it was cleared, maybe it was a pasture for animals, and now it was completely overgrown, but it's back. And the people that at the end of the day see that, I mean, their smiles are just incredible. I mean, honestly, I had a nice lady I just worked for out in Defiance, and she was so happy. She's been baking me cakes and dinners for the last week. It's insane.
Well, when you're doing good work that is taking care of a big problem, a lot of people don't realize getting this done, like we talked about, getting out there with your hatchet or your chainsaw would literally take weeks or months or maybe years, and you've got something that can do that all in a day.
Oh, yeah.
And you've made the investment in the machinery that does it. How many of those machines do you have?
So right now we have 2 of the skid steers, and then we have 1 excavator on order. So it's going to be not the red one. The red one we don't have right now, but the 2 skid steers is what we use right now because they're the least invasive on your property. We can get around without messing up your yard, and they get the most amount of work done. Just a lot better equipment to bring to a lot of the jobs we do. But we do have a big excavator so we can reach down into your ponds or into big ravines, clear those out where we can get on stuff that you can't even walk, honestly.
There you go, everybody. It looks like these guys really have the machinery necessary to get the job done. With that, we like to highlight the what people are saying about you too. And do I have the right page here? Make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's our reviews here. I'll put this up for everybody to take a look at. But holy cow, 18 reviews, 100% satisfaction here. When it comes to getting the job done, getting your money's worth from this. This is the company, very professional. He was always on time and stayed until the work was complete. Cleared. I'm going to put this for everybody to read along with me here. Cleared a lot of property in just a few hours. Very impressed with Midwest Forestry Mulching and Land Clearing, LLC. Worth every penny. All right, nice things being said about you. How does that make you feel?
Awesome. We love it. We love it. We love it. Whenever customers are happy, that's what we like to hear. It's what we like to see. We like to make sure that even our community around us, we're super small where we're from, Defiance, New Melly area, so everybody knows us pretty much out there. We like to make sure that we have a good image and support each other. It's just honestly great.
Doing a lot of great work for the community. Well, that's very neat, and it seems. How far do you go? What part of have machinery will travel?
We'll travel the entire state.
Okay, it says on your. I think I saw on your website somewhere Missouri and in Southern Illinois.
Yep, Southern Illinois we'll go to, and all of Missouri. There's no sort of travel fee, so once our price is locked in, it's a little. Our prices change a little bit here and there, but generally speaking, they're pretty consistent. Just depending on fuel prices and stuff like that, you might change a tad bit, but that's really it.
Any current fun going on in our little world that might affect gas prices. You got to keep that in mind, of course.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, with that, we're going to share some of the fun we have had the opportunity to partake in the community. And my good buddy Nino here, who's been around participating in our community, he's got CP, but he gets to play Miracle Baseball, and he's a fun guy to engage with. Stay tuned here. We'll be back after a little more community stuff. Giddy up. Hey everybody, guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves baseball. Hey, all right. Scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah, he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dad, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. I mean, we've been coming since Old Bush. You know, now we've got New Bush Stadium. It's the best baseball town, and it's the most fun. You know, it's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. By now, we are on ABC 5 times a week. So many businesses are loving what we're doing to help them get their name out there. We'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. A professional video on your website closes more sales by instantly building trust, clearly explaining complex products, and keeping visitors engaged longer, reducing bounce rate by 34%. It'll help you to gain that credibility, increase engagement, simplify complex tasks, lower your sales friction, and boost your rankings on the search engine. So this is all kind of a no-brainer. See how we've now had over 500 interviews and now almost 250 different business owners. Go to bigleagues.com. That's BIGGLEAGUES.com. Go to bigleagues.com and get signed up. You can schedule right from there. So a lot of our fun there, we get to partake in the community. We enjoy working with those. And Nino's been kind of an inspiration for a lot of people over the years. But anybody that can put a big smile on his face like that, that's kind of fun. So with that, I'm a numbers guy. Baseball, you got to know my numbers, right? What's your field percentage, your stolen base percentage, your average, batting average? How many pitches do you take? Slugging percentage, all that stuff. I was a nerd, right? But baseball can allow you to do that. Give me a cost analysis. So and this is a big one for you because for anybody to say, wow, I can buy a chainsaw and a couple of axes and hatchet or whatever, and maybe go at it that way. Or get a tree company and they can kind of do some of it and not really, but you really literally like where somebody would charge $500 or $1,000, you're doing a whole acre.
Right.
So it breaks down to like $7 a tree or something like less than that. But literally, like you're doing this. What is some of the cost analysis? Why should somebody use you versus trying to do this on their own?
Right. So when you're looking at it, a lot of guys they'll charge $1,000, $500, depending on how big of a tree you're taking out, or maybe it's a stump in someone's yard. For us, we're going out, we're clearing large parcels, we're clearing an acre. Sometimes it's some backyard stuff, but cost-wise, you're just never going to hit that. I mean, you're going to have people out there for multiple days, and time is money. So,
sure.
you don't want to be out there that long, and, the equipment costs a lot. When I show up to your house, I'm showing up with $500,000 worth of stuff, where, you could buy a chainsaw, it's a couple $100, but you're going to be out there forever, and you're just never going to get the stuff done that you need to get done, especially in the time.
Yeah, because it would take, it's just if you start averaging that out, you're going to end up spending $7,000, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 in the equivalent amount of time, and it still take a month to get it done.
Right.
And so it's definitely worth doing. Well, why should somebody choose you guys? Obviously, you've done this. You know what you have the expertise. What really sets you apart? Having the right equipment and the expertise. Tell me more.
Yeah, having the right equipment's a huge part of it. So, I mean, showing up with the right stuff. You don't want to show up and, have something that's underpowered or too big. Having too big of stuff can actually be a problem. But we've got kind of mid-sized equipment. And so it's really nice that we can get into, yards or, we've even worked for like St. Albans Golf Course. So we'll go out and we don't mess up the greens or anything. We can drive like right on the trails and make sure everything's still beautiful, but, get rid of all the junk that they don't want and make it beautiful. Really the big thing is, with how we're,
Well, how you're positioned because you've got the right experience and the
Right.
Well, we talked about a little bit during the middle content we share there of our sponsors and community stuff. You and I were talking, and the only people that really compete with you are the power companies because they've got to clean this out all the time for the trees because you can't have trees swinging and knocking over electrical lines. But other than that, you've kind of carved out a niche where you really service this and kind of exclusively.
Right. A lot of our competitors, there's only a few in St. Louis area, but we're kind of the only people out here that are doing this, at least to this level. You've got a couple people out there that are going to show up from their weekend job, like as a weekend job or something like that, but we're completely insured. So if we mess something up at your house, you don't ever have to worry anything.
Right.
We're going to take care of it 100%. So completely ready for everything.
Yeah, well, like I said, the experience you guys bring to the table makes this something that you don't want to try to take something like this. You could rent one of these machines. Is that even possible? But it would cost you almost as much as what you charge.
So to rent one, I know that the rental rates are around $5,000 a day now.
Okay.
So you're gonna spend double of what it would cost to hire us to come out, and you're gonna get somebody to operate it too. So you get to sit inside and watch it. And we have a lot of people that love to just watch it.
Right.
They'll just sit outside, get a sandwich, and watch us, get rid of all the junk that they've been wanting to get rid of, and it's like beautiful.
That's a pretty cool little turnaround in what you get to do to help beautify and make just a workable area that people really want for their business, their home, or their family, and what they get to now enjoy the land that they've gotten that used to be covered by brush and all the other things that make it hard to use. Are there any specific certifications? Obviously, the insurance is a big piece of this, and why is that so important?
It's important because if these mulchers are spinning at 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, so they're shooting the mulch out of the front of it. A lot of people don't realize that that's a projectile, so it can go through a window, it can go through a car window, it could go, it can do some damage if you're not paying attention. So my dad and I have worked a long time to make sure that we know, the type of training that our other guys need to get. So, not to face somebody. If somebody's getting close, shut it down immediately. Tell them, hey, you got to step back a little bit because this is kind of a dangerous thing going on. But that's the main thing right there, is making sure that everything's protected. If it's not, then you're going to be out more money than what it was for us to show up.
Yeah, you've got all the necessary protective gear as well. I mean, it's going to be helmets and goggles and gloves and all kinds of stuff that, when it all comes down to it, let this be handled by the professionals.
Right.
Very, very important, everybody. What are some of the benefits that you bring also as a small business? You really get to take care of these mostly homeowners and landowners in the area. What is it you like about being a small business, you and Dad right now?
Small business wise, I mean, it's nice because you're going to know it's either going to be me or my dad showing up. So, as the owner, we're going to want it done right. You don't have to worry about, we're not going to show up and do kind of, not a great job on your place. We're going to make sure it's beautiful. We're going to make sure you're happy and that there's no issue at all.
There you go. When you've got experts doing what they do, that's what you really get to experience with somebody who's put in the background to do that. But like I said, great looking website. I'm going to put the website on the wall here for everybody. Just the basic information. Make that phone number easy to get. Good job. That's important. But there's that equipment, and you got the storage facilities for that, and just the information you need. And you got a number of pages here to talk about the business and the services and recent work, machinery, and you can actually finance this too. Is that true?
It is true. So we use kind of a third party, so we really wouldn't even know if you did it, but you can do it as just like a home finance project.
Yeah, so there's no reason to not get this done, especially if it's keeping you from enjoying your property or from getting new work done. And if you're going to add a pool or put a nice new little storage unit on your back property, a lot of things, you need to get areas like that cleared to make them usable, if you will. As we finish up here, we'll start off with I'm going to have our guest here. When we have an expert like Andrew in studio, you try to get as much information as you can. So we're having to stick around for another half an hour. But as you finish up, we got about a minute here. What's the biggest mistake that the average homeowner or whoever landowner makes when they're making a decision to clear their land?
By not calling us. So by not calling us, if you call in a logger, all they're going to do is come in, cut down your trees, leave 100 stumps, and it leaves an entire mess. Otherwise, if you call us, we'll do it right the first time. We'll make sure that there is no stumps, that everything's left beautiful, and you won't have to worry about anything when we're done.
So you'll grind it all the way down to the ground?
All the way down. We usually grind about an inch below the surface, so you can walk it, mow it, do whatever you want. You can plant grass on it immediately after we're done.